you go. So hello, good morning and welcome to Not Just About Ducks with me, Angela. It's it's a cold morning, it's a beautiful morning. It's very icy and quite frosty, but I would say more ice than frost. Let's go and see the ducks. Oh. So, hello and welcome to Not Just About Ducks with me, Angela. I'm in my kitchen today, so I'm always in my kitchen as a matter of fact. So today I'm going to start covering some chocolates. I made the truffles, which I've got the video, which I will put a link here or here or here or here for that video on how to make them. So now I have to temper some chocolate. I think I'll do my ruby ones first. This is the chocolate I use for my cooking, for my chocolatiering, for any chocolate pastes or anything that I need to make. I will use this Calibo. It's a Belgian chocolate. It's delicious. This is Ruby Colette's. It's made from the ruby cocoa bean. It is 47.3% chocolate. There's no colours or dyes or flavourings. It is what it says on the packet. It's from the ruby cocoa bean. And yes, there is such a thing. So what you need is, you need to make a bain-marie, which is basically just a pan of water. In the water you put a bowl, and in the bowl some chocolate. I don't measure out the cover in chocolate. Perhaps I should. It wouldn't be perhaps so wasteful, but it doesn't waste anyway, because you can put it into a block or something, or you can make molds, or you can leave it in a block, and when it's set, put it back into the bag. You know, so long as it's nice and dry and not, you know, it will store. So this is my chocolate supply here. I would say that my sons love the chocolate. I very rarely bring it out, because if I do, then a lot of it disappears. That's my second bag of the gold chocolate that I bought, because my sons ate the last bag of gold chocolate I bought, and I bought them specifically to make these chocolates that I'm making today. So I'll take you to the stove. I put the chocolate in a bowl, in a pan with some water in, and it's now on the front burner, which is a low one. I'm very lucky. There are 7 burners on here, and I use every one of them. So I'm just waiting now for the chocolate to melt. You need to set the gas on to heat the water, and then you kind of leave it until the chocolate starts to melt, and then you mix it in. Make sure it's all melted. It doesn't have to be super hot. So yeah. So we have to wait till the chocolate melts. I have a new stove. It wasn't gifted or anything like that. So yes, it's a Leisure. It's a Leisure Cookmaster. It's got the 2 ovens and a grill, and it's all gas, and it's awesome. I love it. So what I do is, so this chocolate is nicely melted now, ready to be taken over to the table, and we can start curing it. Is it curing it? I forget. So silly me. Chocolate's ready to go over to the table and we can temper it. I did say curing it, but it's not curing it. Brain fog. Let's go to the table. So when tempering a chocolate, you need to have rubber gloves. These aren't rubber, they're nitrile. But, and an apron. Roll your sleeves up. I've got the wrong dress on for this job. So you take your shopping, you take your chocolate, and I use an old microwave tray, you know, a glass plate, the one that sits on the turning belt, and that's what I use. So tempering is just constantly working the chocolate. If you don't temper it, it's a bit hot at the minute, but if you don't temper it, if you don't temper it, the butters in the chocolate will rise to the surface, and it doesn't mean the chocolate's inedible, but what it is, it makes it dull on the outside. I don't know whether you've had a chocolate from somewhere or other and it's cloudy or looks yellow on the outside. What it is, it's either been heated somewhat or it's been placed in a warm place. It often happens in the summer when chocolate will overheat somewhat, and then the butter rises to the surface and it creates the, and my light's gone flashing. Yes, you do get good and messy. So you just bring it into the center, swirl it in, and it cools down nice. This is nearly tempered, which means that you're folding all the butters and whatever that is in the chocolate, you're folding it all in. So and you bring it in to the center so that the outside of the chocolate is still being mixed into the center. When it's quite cool to the touch, it's not quite there yet. I mean, you don't want it too cool because otherwise it will set, and you don't want it to set just yet. Excuse my stretching. So here are some truffles that I made. These are the ruby chocolate ones. They have been in the fridge and the freezer so that they're nice and cold. And if you don't have to use a cup. These are little chocolate cups you can buy. You can just place them on a tray, and yes, but they fit in there and then they make nice presents. So this is just about done now. So what I do is I roll the chocolate around and I pop it in a tray if I want to use. I don't always use them, so but you get a nice oh my goodness, you get so messy making chocolates, but it's all good. So you just plonk it on the tray there, or you can put it in a cup. like so. And you can shake the loose chocolate off. Whoops, and drop it. It's no good trying to stay clean. It really isn't. It's good fun. And work as quickly as you can. Bringing the chocolate into the center, because you need it to be malleable, but you also need it to set rather quickly, and you don't want to have to heat it all through again. So shake the excess off. The excess, sorry. There. These are a favourite with people, the ruby chocolate ones. You can buy these cases off Amazon or eBay or anything like that. Just look for small cupcake cases is all, or things like that, you know. If you see how they're all coming up nice and individual, I should get some more ready. I'm hoping that one of my sons can give me a hand if they did want to. So you shake it off and plop it down. Work as quickly as you can. Get a full cover in. If you want to decorate the chocolates when you're making them, you can just do some sprinkles on the top or whatever. Also, the more you temper a chocolate, the shinier it'll get. So, being as these are truffles, I don't really need them really shiny. But the more you temper it, the shinier the chocolate, the crisper the chocolate will become. You get a bit of a bite to it. So the more you temper it, the better the bite. When you crack it or something, it'll make a nice, it's nice. Oops, a little bit by there. I'm going to mix and match these ruby chocolates with some white chocolate. So I'm going to be rolling some white chocolate in some ruby chocolate for a bit of a surprise. These are gifts for people. Yes, I'm a bit tardy with my gifts this year. I just was so busy with the avian things going on in the UK, trying to make sure all my duckies were nice and safe. These mats are very handy as well. You can bake on them. They come nice and clean. Yes, they're good things. As I said before, there is no there's no additives in these chocolates whatsoever, so let's move my chocolate. That would save time, wouldn't it? So these chocolates are well chilled. Idea being that they will give a hand set in the chocolate, so that's always a good thing. You haven't got to put the chocolates in the cases before, you know, when you're doing this. You can do that later once they're set. They don't all have to be perfect, round or whatever. In fact, they don't have to be round. You can make them any shape you want to. It's just whatever you fancy doing. So the recipe for the truffle is 1 cup of double cream or heavy cream, whipping cream, whatever, and to 1 pound of chocolate. You heat the cream and the chocolate on the stove in separate pans, and then you whisk slowly at first, and then you whisk the chocolate into the cream until your truffle mix is nice and mixed in and smooth. It will set. It looks as though it won't set, you know, when you're mixing it, but it will set once it's cooled and chilled. My grandchildren love this. Unfortunately, this year we, well, they haven't been able to come down. Not this year or last year, really. So I suppose at least if I get a chocolate on my dress, it's the same colour, isn't it, really? I suppose it's nice and therapeutic. I wonder if my son will pass me some white chocolates. Cloud? Oh, hello, son. Can you pass me the bag of white chocolates out of the fridge, please, my boy?
Bag of what?
White chocolate truffles for me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
See the white ones? Verdict. They're a bit cold yet.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Wow, they're really nice.
Boys, what are you gonna do, eh?
Some grapes by you for the ducks.
Oh, thank you. hand. So you can see the chocolate is starting to set, so you just have to work it a bit more. Again, turn the plate and smooth it into the middle. Where you going, son? Oh, cool. White chocolate ones. Yes, because you always get a bit of a surprise in a chocolate box, don't you, really? So I just put those on the plate right there. I have to work quickly now, nearly time to melt more chocolate. It's very gratifying or satisfying, is it, making chocolates? They smell delicious. They really do. So you need to scrape the chocolate with one hand and put it on. Excuse the noise, my son is opening the parcel. Right, so I'll be back when these have been coated, and then we'll do a cut and test.